Shalom, Abla. How are you? Hello, everybody. Good. I hope sound is okay. I am very good, thank you. We're gonna get going in a sec. Just wait and see if anybody else wants to join. As you can see, the topic is on the screen already. I mean, I hope this topic is okay. I did some research on this topic, so I'm gonna show you what I have. Oh, okay, one sec. I mean, I know what it is. It's my PC, fan. One sec. Let me check if it's still on. Okay, I mean, when I'm talking, it doesn't seem to be on too much. But when I'm not talking, it seems to be on a lot. Maybe if I turn down... Let me check like that. Maybe now you won't hear it because I turned down my mic volume. Let me check. Is my mic now too quiet or is it okay? Well, we'll leave it like that, I guess. And hopefully it's okay. So as you see now on the screen, we will begin. This is gonna be a stream. Okay, good. Thank you for your help, Abel. Anyways. Okay. So today we are going to be going through, was Muhammad a cult leader? I mean, we know that Good, good, good. Thank you, Anna Daily. Hello. I mean, we know Muhammad, he did not have the truth. So what did he have? I mean, he received revelation from the shaitan, we know that. But I want to go through some tendencies of cult leaders. So if you just go to Google, you can search up for yourself, tendencies of cult leaders. And I mean, these all people, Joseph Smith, you see these big cults in America and things like that, where people, they do weird things. And, Muhammad, he's no exception, because we will go through this. I mean, if we type actually male as well, this will most likely, for a severe narcissistic traits, a lack of empathy, and intense need for absolute control. Exploitation, so financial extortion and using systematic coercion for sexual dominance. Isolation, cutting off members from family. Love bombing and severe humiliation. I mean, just as we go through these, I mean, severe humiliation was the reason for jizya. I mean, we know that it's for humiliation. If we go to the sexual dominance, I mean, we know Muhammad, he have 12 wives, he have sex slaves. We will go through that today. And what did he do? The guys like under the illusion of a higher spiritual or ideological purpose. So Muhammad, he used Allah. For example, you'll go through these things today. When Muhammad, he's not allowed to. He wants to make his wife feel better because he has sex with her on his wife's bed. He has sex with the sex slave on his wife's bed. So he tells her, I'm never going to do this again. And the next day, a verse comes down. No, it's okay. Why do you say that you won't do it again? It's okay for you. I've made it okay. Allah, he seems to be sort of a lawyer. But anyways, I mean, all of these things, it's mainly going to be, today about how Muhammad, he used Allah for sex, how Muhammad, he used Allah for money, how Muhammad, he used Allah for all worldly gains, which is sort of the definition of this cult. So we're gonna start with chapter 33, verse number 50. So one of the things that cult leaders have is they have special privileges that no other members of the cult they have, because these people, they want complete and utter control, but they want their own privileges. So, O Prophet, we have made lawful for you your wives to whom you have paid their dowries, as well as those slaves in your possession, whom Allah has granted you. And you are allowed to marry the daughters of your paternal uncles and aunts and the daughters of your maternal uncles and aunts. When you read the tafsir of the story of Zaynab, you realize that Zaynab is actually Muhammad's cousin. So this is what this is talking about here. Muhammad, he's a cousin, cousin boom boomer. And the daughters of your maternal uncles and aunts who have emigrated like you. And also allowed for marriage is a believing woman who offers herself to the Prophet if he is interested in marrying her. So any woman, they come over to Muhammad, they say, I want to marry you. Anybody, just for boom boom, you can marry her. It's okay, Muhammad, you do that. This is, look, exclusively for you, not for the rest of the believers. So why Allah, he makes, a special exception for Muhammad to have lots and lots of sex, lots and lots of sex slaves? Muhammad, he should be busy praying. He should be busy spreading the message of Islam. Maybe if Muhammad, he spends less time in bed with his wives and his sex slaves, maybe he doesn't need to go and deliver satanic verses to people to believe him, because he would actually be a good example. We know well what rulings we have ordained for the believers in relation to their wives and those sex slaves in their possession. As such, there will be no blame on you. and Allah is all forgiving, most merciful. Now, although this is clear, any woman they want to come to you and offer themselves to you, Muhammad, you can take them. This is clear, correct? But let's see the privileges that the tafsir gives Muhammad. Here we go. This is tafsir al-Qurtubi. This is for the chapter 33, verse number 50. The same thing. Can you read here? This is Ashara, number 10. وَجَبَّ زَوْجَهَا تَلَاقَ. If his gaze, if his gaze, عَلَى امْرَأَ, if his gaze fall on a woman, her husband was obligated to what? To talaqa. You see? Divorce her. If Muhammad, he looks at your wife, you must divorce her. And who do they reference? If we go here, fi qasa Zayd, in the story of Zayd. Do you see, guys? So if Muhammad's gaze fall upon your wife, you're a Muslim, you must divorce your wife. So for what? So Muhammad, he can boom boom your wife. Is this fair, guys? Do you like that? I mean, for example, sometimes, I have stories from friends. I have a friend, and my friend, he told me, his friend, he said he's a prophet. And my friend, he got married, and the prophet, he came to him, he said, I looked at your wife, but Allah, he gave me instruction, God gave me instruction to, you have to divorce her so I can boom boom her. My friend said, what? Are you sure? This is coming from God, are you sure? The guy, he said, yeah, I'm sure, this is, very godly, I want to, boom boom your wife. This is not adultery. This is a message from God. Is this good? Do you believe him? So do you see here that they mention, yeah, it's sick. Do you see here they mention the story of Zayd? You see here? Qassa Zayd. You see? The story of Zayd. What happened in the story of Zayd? I mean, I feel like I'm doing this story every day. But I mean, I'm, it's a, a big deal in Islam. So look, Muhammad, he finds a fondness for his son's wife, for Zaynab, who was married to his son, Zayd. This is why he abolishes adoption, guys. So what happens? He wants to marry her himself. Then he came to Zayd's house looking for Zaynab. And he saw Zaynab standing there. She was fair-skinned, beautiful, and well-built. Do you know what well-built means, guys? Back in the day? Do you know what that means? It means she was very fat. That's what it means. Seriously, no joking. This means she is very fat, because back then, if a woman is fat, it means that she has capabilities to have children a lot. She has a good body. She's very fat, and she's one of the most perfect fat women of Quraysh. So Muhammad, he's very captivated by her. Yes, exactly. And exclaimed, "Glory be to God, the turner of hearts." Zaynab then heard it, and she went to Zayd. And then Zayd feels terrible. And look. This is the funniest part. I mean, Allah, who is your God? If you ask a Muslim, who is your God? They say, I don't know. You know what they should say? They should say, my God, he's a curtain blower. Because Zaynab, she's behind the curtain. And Allah, he sent a wind, He blows the curtain out the way, moves it. And Zaynab, she's sitting there, her hands behind her head, sitting naked. And the Prophet, he sees her rolls on her stomach, and he gets very, very attracted to her. Do you see? Do you see, guys? Then, let's move on. Then, let's move on. Let's move on to her rolls on her stomach, and he gets very, very attracted to her. Do you see? Do you see, guys? Sorry. Does that make all make sense to you guys? All good so far? So far we see the first tendency of cultness. He has special privileges. He has special privileges for women. He has privileges only that he has. Do you see? Sorry, the echo should be gone now. It's still there, the echo, or it's gone? Okay. Now, this is the story that I brought up in the beginning. This is chapter 66, verse number 1. And Allah, He says here, O Prophet, why do you forbid and prohibit what Allah has made lawful for you, seeking approval of your wives? Are you stupid? Why would you want to make approval of your wives? And Allah is forgiving and merciful. What is this talking about? Let's see from the tafsir. This is Tafsir al-Jalalain for the same verse, chapter 66, verse number 1. So Muhammad, he have a Coptic, which is an Egyptian Christian, sex slave, Maria the Copt. And we will get onto her now, like stories about her. What happens? He lay with her in the house of Hafsa. This is his other wife, one of the 12. Oh my gosh, one of the 12. Who had been away. So Hafsa, she said, Muhammad, today I'm going away. I want to go shopping. Muhammad, he says, okay. Hafsa, it's okay, you go. And so Muhammad, then he brings Maria into her house. But then she returned early. Oh no. Upset by the fact this had taken place in her own house, in her own bed. So she comes back, she sees Muhammad, he comes outside, and I'm going to show you the story now, the full story. He's very sweaty. And she realizes that something's going on. And then this verse was revealed because Muhammad, he promised her that this will never happen again. Let me make this more clear. I think this one is more clear. This is in Tafsir al-Baghawi. So, Hafsa, she goes out. Muhammad, he calls for his slave girl Maria, and Maria is brought into Hafsa's house. He had intercourse with her on Hafsa's bed, and when Hafsa returned, she found the door closed. So she sat by the door. The messenger of God, may God bless him and grant him peace, came out with his face dripping with sweat. And Hafsa was crying. He said, why are you crying? She said, you only gave me permission for this, and you brought your slave girl into my house when you had intercourse with her on my day and on my bed. You know what's going on here, guys? Muhammad, he has a day for every single wife. Monday he's with Aisha. Tuesday he's with Hafsa. Wednesday he's with blah blah. Thursday he's with blah blah. For 12 days he has to have, how he has this many people. You only gave me permission for this, and you brought your slave girl into my house, and you had intercourse with her on my day and on my bed. So instead of having, boom boom with Hafsa on this day, Muhammad, he has boom boom with his sex slave. And Hafsa, she is very upset. She says, why do you do this to me? Then, what does he say? Be quiet. You see? She asks him, why? You would not do this to any of your wives. Be quiet. He tells her, shut up. And now he says, for she is forbidden to me. Be quiet, she is forbidden to me. So then he's going to change his mind. Because you see, she is forbidden now. But wait until he gets, the feeling he wants to have Maria again. And he will change. Allah will come and change. Ready? And he tells her, don't tell, all of the other wives about this. And then she went and told Aisha. Then she told Aisha that he has forbidden his slave girl Maria, because they all get very jealous of this slave girl. And then the verse came down, O Prophet, why do you forbid what God has made lawful for you? Hello, Meso. And Abla, maybe yes. Maybe this is true. In this one I didn't say that, but maybe it's true as well. So look, you see guys, Muhammad, he changes his mind. He says one thing and changes his mind, but this was not just on the one case, because in chapter 2 verse 106, Allah, he sends down the message. Never we will, abrogate a verse, we will bring something similar to it, or better than it. What's the point of bringing a verse similar to it? Just keep it the same. What's the point? Muhammad here, he's clearly forgetting. And that's why he have so many qira'at. You know the story. Ali, he goes and finds somebody and he's reciting it different, so different that he brings him to the Prophet himself, and he is very angry with this man. Muhammad, he's going around telling different Qur'an to everyone. That's why we have so many Qur'an today. So look, in this one as well, chapter 2 verse 106, do you not see that Muhammad commands his companions with something and then forbids them with the same commands? The exact opposite. You see? On one day he says something and the following day he retracts it. Look what happens, guys. Guys, look. Be quiet. She is forbidden to me. The next day, oh Prophet, why do you forbid yourself? Go have sex with your sex slave. Are you joking? Look, even the idolaters are cleverer than Muhammad. Look how stupid he is. Does this make sense so far, guys? Why so far he is nothing but a filthy liar. This is Ibn Sa'd, and this is volume 8, page 214. Al-Tabaqat Al-Kubra. Al-Tabaqat Al-Kubra. You see? This is the book. This is the page 214, and this is the volume 8, okay? This is the story of how he obtains the sex slave Maria. This is the story. Muhammad, he sends a message to the ruler of Alexandria to embrace Islam. He rejected, but he sent some gifts, including sex slaves. Two sex slaves. But he also sends gifts. So this is the exact translation from here to here, okay? So, the ruler of Alexandria sent to Muhammad in the year 7 of the Hijrah, Maria and her sister, along with 1,000 mithqals of gold, 20 soft garments, his mule, and his donkey. With them was sent an eunuch called Mabur, an old man who was the brother of Maria. He sent all of that with Hatib ibn Abi Balta. So, Maria then, she embraced Islam. I mean, we don't know if she embraced it or she's forced, we don't know. But this is how, he have the sex slave. And so he then impregnated her with Ibrahim. And the Ansar competed over Ibrahim and desired to free up Maria for the Prophet. But he still kept her as a slave. Do you see? So, when a Muslim, they say, the reason we have sex slaves was because, people, they oppress us Muslims. We're the most oppressed group. And, we only took the slaves because we kill only the men. We can't kill women in Islam. This is not true as well. I mean, we can show you many story of this, which is not true. I mean, look, in this book here, I will get onto this later as well, but in the Life of Muhammad by Ibn Ashaq, page 551, he had 2 singing girls, Fatanna and her friend, who used to sing bad songs about Muhammad. So he ordered that they should be killed with him. So he's ordering killing of women, and also we have another one. We'll find it later. But there is another one where a man, he goes to Muhammad and he says, I have killed a woman because she insults you. And Muhammad, he replies, her blood is good, you know, this is good for you to kill her. What's the problem? She insulted the Prophet, you kill her. So this is nothing but a lie. Muhammad, he's raping a slave that he was gifted on the night of his wife, and she was very upset. This is the verse accepting the married women. You can have sex with married women who are your slaves. So also prohibited to you are married women except those who you right hand possess. And we know the story about this as well. You know, in the chapter 4 verse 24 in the tafsir, it tells us that you know, they took over a village and they didn't kill all the men. And the Muslim man, they were feeling bad because they didn't kill the husbands of these slave girls. So the slave girls were still married back home. And the Muslim man said, you know, I feel bad, I feel terrible. Muhammad, he just says, go. Allah, he decreed it. Go have sex with them. It's okay. You see, this is the story. Sent a military expedition to Autas on the occasion of the Battle of Hunain. They met the enemy and fought them. They defeated them and took them captives. Some of the companions of the Apostle of Allah were reluctant to have relations with the female captives because of their pagan husbands. So the pagan husbands are still alive, they're still married, and they didn't want to rape them. Because they were saying, no, I don't want to have sex with you, you know, this is rape. And they say, I'm still married. So the man, they say, you know, you're right, I don't want to rape you if you still have a husband. And then Allah, he sends down an amazing verse. No, go ahead. You know, you own them. They are your right hand possess. You own them. Do you see, guys? And this is Tafsir al-Jalalain. And he says the same, even if they should have spouses among the enemy camp. Even Ibn Kathir, the famous Ibn Kathir, he says the same, having intercourse with them while they had husbands. Again, Sahih Hadith. Attacked Kaaba, and we captured it by conquest. He just attacked them. What did they do? He attacked you. You must give over your women, otherwise Muhammad, he will come and kill you. Now, the famous two sexual slaves of Muhammad was Safiya and Maria. This is the story of how he obtained Safiya. Pay attention to this, guys. This one is important. So, let me tell you about this story. Captives were gathered at Kaaba. They'd just taken over this Jewish town, Kaaba. Diya came out and said, Muhammad, give me a slave girl from the captives. He said, go ahead, go and take one. You know, Muhammad, he's like Diddy. He's just a pimp. You know, go take her, 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 go take her. You know, to all the Muslims, you know, giving them out like they are, you know, £1 coins. Boom, 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 boom. Go and take her. So he took Safiya. A man then, he came to Muhammad and said, you gave Safiya to Dihya? Dihya? You gave her to him? This is according to the version of Yaqub. The agreed version goes, she is worthy of you. Do you see? So another Muslim, he came to Muhammad, he says, you know, why did you give Safiya? She is so beautiful. Why did you give him to this random Muslim man? She is worthy of you. She should be given to you. She should be your sex slave. Then Muhammad, he goes and he looked at her. He said, take another sex slave from the captives. Do you see? Do you see, guys? Do you see the reference? When the Prophet looked at her. Okay? Here we go. Let's go back. Do you see? When he looks upon the woman, you must divorce her. Do you see the reference? If his gaze looks at your woman, you must divorce her. And this is not just about divorce now. You know, this is now about more. This is even going to sex slaves. Do you see? Do you see, guys? So look. Look. Do you see what they are saying here? This is the chapter of selling animals for animals. Do you see? The Prophet bought Safiya for 7 slaves. So this man here, he bought her of him for 7 slaves. But what is the chapter? Selling animals for animals. Haywana. Animals. They are calling the women, the slaves, animals. By selling animals for animals. And he's buying Safiya for 7 slaves. Do you see how they reference it? And this is Sunan Ibn Majah. Do you see, guys? Now, this is talking about another expedition. I mean, how many expeditions this man he wants to do? You know, Muhammad, he's a prophet for what? Like 22 years? 21, 22 years? 8 of those years, he was under the influence of shaitan. The shaitan was in the Qur'an in chapter 53, verse number 21. 6 months, he was imagining himself having sex with his wives when he wasn't. He was under the influence of shaitan, under black magic. Now he's doing 83 raids. He did. Did you know that? 83. In 20 years, he did 83 raids. I mean, look at all these things. So this is another one. So he went out on the expedition to Banu al-Mustaliq. For we were suffering from the absence of our wives. Do you understand what this means? He's talking about he just wants to have boom boom. He is lusting. This is lust, guys. Do you see? And we wanted ransom. So we intended to... This is talking about pulling out of the slave woman. Al-Azl. So they ask Muhammad, should we pull out? Is among us... they ask him. And he said it does not matter because every soul is destined to be born. Do you see the destiny, guys? You know, there's no free will in Islam. I will do another video on that. But this goes back to free will. But also, they are taking Arab women captive. Muhammad, he doesn't say, you know, control yourselves. Don't lust over women. Don't lust over slaves. You know, love is love. You should have your wife. No. Lust, it's okay. Now, going back to a different topic now. Is Muhammad a cult leader? Cult leaders, they need money. They need everything worldly. So we've shown you women. We have shown you special privileges. What else? You know, we have shown you unethical behavior. You know, now I'm going to show you when Muhammad, he takes a fifth of it, of everything. All the money. You know, Muhammad, he took gold of the Egyptian guy. You know, when he sent Maria, I told you already. He takes the money as well. But now, I know that anything you obtain of war booty, then indeed, for Allah is 1/5 of it, and for the messenger. You know that Spider-Man meme when they're all pointing at each other? It's like that. You know, Muhammad and Allah, they're the same person. A fifth of it goes to Muhammad. So there are thousands of Muslims, correct? In these camps. And a fifth of everything goes to Muhammad. So look. This is tafsir al-Qurtubi, chapter 8, verse number 41. And he says, had a share like the share of the victors, whether he was present or absent. Did you know Muhammad, he didn't used to fight his own battle? Guys, do you know what happened to Muhammad? You know when he went to fight? I will show you. This is the life of Muhammad by Ibn Ashaq. This is page 382 to 383. The battle was being fought. And the apostle ran to the mountain with his companion to climb it, to get away from the battle. He had become heavy by reason of age, and moreover, he had put on 2 coats of mail, so when he tried to get up, he could not do so. So he's trying to run away, and I will show you now his teeth are broken from this battle, and this is why, because he is injured. You know? So, Muhammad, he runs for the highest mountain and he goes hiding in a cave. This is the Battle of Uhud. The same story. So in the Battle of Uhud, he ran away. On the day of Uhud, a molar of the Messenger of Allah was broken. So his teeth, all his teeth are broken from this rock that was thrown at him. Blood started pouring down his face, and he started to wipe his face and say, how can people prosper if they soak the face of their Prophet with blood when he is calling them to Allah? Because you're fighting them. You're fighting them and you're crying and you're running. So Muhammad, he never went to war again. Look. The face of the Prophet as wounded and one of his front teeth as broken. And the helmet over his head was smashed. And then he ran. You know, this is in the same book, and people, they say, you know, Muhammad, he never hit a woman. Muhammad, he gave her such a blow in the face that he blacked her eye. This is talking about Safiya, his sex slave. He's hitting women now, and also he hits Aisha as well. If you read the Arabic here, let me pull up for you. Let me find this hadith, guys. One sec. Nine 7-4b. These hadiths never come up, I swear. 163? No. Let me just find on my drive. So I can translate for you. You know, in case, you know, You never want to just take information with random, translations. Let me show you guys. So, what does the translation it say? So Aisha, she's following Muhammad here out of the house. So then Muhammad, he gets angry with her. He gave me a nudge on the chest, which I felt. Do you see what they say in the translation? Which I felt. Let's translate this. He struck me in the chest with a blow that hurt me. Do you see how they lie, guys? Do you see the lies? I mean, they are big lies. Let's continue. What did in the beginning, we had the cult leaders up. They said, these people, they have special privileges, but also they want always to be obeyed. They can never take criticism. They can never be wrong. They need people to obey them. So what do we have here in chapter 3 verse 32? It says, say, O Prophet, obey Allah and His Messenger. For example, why they don't just say obey Allah? Why and His Messenger, if Muhammad, he's really speaking the words of Allah, it should just be, obey Allah. Because Muhammad, he's already talking the words of Allah. So you are still obeying Allah. Not and His Messenger. This is why, people, in Islam, when the muta verse is there in chapter 4 verse 24, they run to the hadith. Muta is never abrogated in the Quran. It is not for believing man or woman, when Allah and His Messenger decree a matter, to have any other choice in that matter. Indeed, whoever disobeys Allah and His Messenger has gone far astray. Obey, 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 obey. Let's see what Muhammad, he promises people who they obey him. This is Tafsir al-Baghawi for the same verse, chapter 3 verse 32. Whoever obeys me will enter paradise. Whoever obeys Muhammad has obeyed God, and whoever disobeys Muhammad has disobeyed God. Again, with the Spider-Man meme, pointing at each other. Muhammad, you're God, you're Allah. Muhammad's Allah, and Allah's Muhammad. Whoever obeys me will enter paradise. I mean, what will you get in paradise? You're gonna get endless penis with the, with the palm trees. Palm tree penis in paradise with 72 houris. This is your promise in paradise. But look, let's take deeper dive. In his books, the life and works of Al-Albani in page 423, there is no doubt that just intending to oppose the Prophet, whether in his actions or intention, is one of the greatest causes of discord and destruction, as it explicitly stated in the words of God Almighty. So let those who oppose His command beware lest a trial afflict or a painful punishment befall them. Don't disobey Muhammad. When Muhammad, he tells you, go and kill all the polytheists in chapter 9, go do it. When Muhammad, he tells you, go and do jihad for the sake of Allah, go and do it. When Muhammad, he sits on his high horse in his nice comfy house and he sends all the Muslims out to go and fight for the sake of Allah, go and do it. You cannot oppose the Prophet, whether his actions or intentions. Do you see? And this is Al-Albani. Look what he says on the next page. It is obligatory to adhere to the Sunnah actions of the Prophet and his outward worship that is not permissible in any way to contradict him. Even more so, it is no permissible to contradict him in the intention that he did things, because it contradicts the proofs that necessitate following him. I mean, is it sunnah to be possessed by the devil? You know, Muhammad, he did that. That's his action, right? Should we all be now possessed by the devil? Muhammad's actions was to marry a child and rape her at 9 years old. Is that now what we have to do? You know, guys, some people, they say, you know, it wasn't rape. When Muhammad, he says that how will a virgin express her consent, he said by keeping silent. And this is Bukhari as well. So how, when Muhammad, he have sex with virgins, all they have to do is keep silent. This is the same, you know, friends and people who they felt so shy they can't talk to Muhammad. Look, so all Aisha had to do was sit there and be silent. Ready? This is the same people who do this. When the playmates came to her house, they ran from the house because they felt shy. They couldn't say, you know, I feel shy, because they are kids, you know, they are silent. They're all silent. So they are very, very scared and they all feel shy. But Muhammad, he have a way, you know, of taking consent. And this way is by keeping silent. And also, why is this called tricks? Tricks in marriage. And also this says, fi nikah. Nikah is not marriage. Nikah is equivalent to the F word in the Arabic language. You knew that, right, guys? This word right here is the equivalent to the F word. It is not talking about marriage. Okay? Another thing that is cultish tendencies of a cult or of a cult leader is you can't let people leave the religion once they're in and out. I mean, have you seen cults like Scientology, where they follow people around and they go and stalk them? I mean, at least this cult, I mean, on the outside, they don't have rules about killing you. They just make your life, you know, hell. But look, some atheists were brought to Ali and he burned them. The news of the event reached the cousin of Muhammad ibn Abbas, who said, if I had been in his place, I would not have burned them. Why? You know, yeah, you know, he wouldn't have burned them because he's a nice guy, right? That's why. Not because this is really bad, you know, to kill somebody just for changing their mind about religion. He said, as Allah's messenger forbade it, saying, do not punish anybody with Allah's punishment, which is fire. Oh, so I would have killed them according to the statement of Allah's messenger, whoever changes his Islamic religion, then kill him. So he would still kill him, but he just said, you know, Ali, why you burn them? You know, this is Allah's job. You know, isn't it Allah's job as well to put, you know, a massive iron bar up your butt? This is in the Quran. A massive iron bar up your butt. So you can't do that as well. I mean, there's two things, right? Now that you can't do. So Ibn Abbas, he's saying, Ali, you shouldn't do this. Not because, you know, it's bad to kill people. No, it's okay to kill people. What's wrong with that? Just don't burn them, because this is the punishment from Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says in the Quran, I am going to burn you all and put a iron bar up your butt. So now you cannot do it. Do you see the stupidity? And Muhammad here, he doubles down in Bukhari. The blood of a Muslim who confesses that none has right to be worshipped but Allah and I am his apostle. So when a Muslim, he says, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, he cannot have his blood shed except in 3 cases. in qisas for murder. A married person who commits illegal sexual intercourse. I mean, shouldn't Muhammad he be killed? Listen. Listen. Muhammad, he has illegal sexual intercourse. I mean, he lusted over his son's wife and then he goes and boom booms her. And he becomes an apostate from Islam. Am I right? In the satanic verses. He commits shirk, the unforgivable sin. If you commit shirk, you are out of the fold of Islam. Right? So shouldn't Muhammad here, he be killed? Oh wait, he has the special privileges. Muhammad, he can do whatever he wants. But look, my point for this was not that. My point was that anyone who leaves Islam should be killed. Anybody. Same thing again. Muhammad, he says that anybody who leaves Islam should be killed. And he makes it very clear here. Whoever changes his religion, kill him. Kill. I mean, did this man, he know anything else? This is The Life of Muhammad again by Ibn Ashaq. So I said to you earlier, right? Muhammad, all these Muslims, they say, our religion is so good because we can't kill women and we can't cut down trees. Isn't it Muhammad who ordered the women to be killed? Here, look. So he attacked and killed him and apostatized. He had 2 singing girls and her friend who used to sing songs about the apostle. So he ordered that they should be killed with him. Do you see? So when Muhammad he kills, women, he hits women, he hits his wife, he hits his slave. Was this proof that Muhammad he's a cult leader? This man, we've gone through pretty much all things. So let's see what we've gone through. He has special privileges. He has the women. He has slaves. He can't remember his verses. He has gold and money being sent to him. He conquests all neighboring villages and captures their women for himself. He sells women like animals and buys them. He tells people not to control their lust and to rape captive women. All war booty, whether he is in the war or not, 1/5 of it goes to Muhammad. 1/5. If you make £100, £25 goes to Muhammad and £75 is shared between the thousands of Muslims. If you make, £10,000, £2,500 goes to Muhammad. Or 2,000, sorry. £2,000 out of 10,000. Do you see? And either if he was absent. I mean, what he does with all this money. I mean, isn't Muhammad meant to be a simple man? What else does he do? He runs away from battle. He gets his teeth knocked out. I mean, how does this guy recite the Qur'an? You see? It's impossible. I mean, this guy has no teeth. This is why, in the story when he's kissing down a little boy's stomach. I mean, maybe he was very good for the men because he has no teeth, On the day of the Battle of Uhud, his front teeth are gone. Oh my gosh. I mean, this man is very ugly. He beats women. He beats his wife. He makes people obey him. Whoever he makes false promises about paradise. It is a massive punishment not to obey this man. He forces people to stay in his cult, and if you leave, you kill him. You see? And he makes women die. So guys, is there any questions for this? Any questions in the chat, or any Muslims who want to join me? Was your prophet a cult leader? It doesn't seem to be any questions. No questions, it's haram. Yes, exactly. I mean, Muhammad, he says that whoever asks questions is the worst. You know, I want to show you all something actually. Let me just show you one thing. You know, I don't know if any of you watched my video, but a Muslim, he came to my video, and he said, one sec, let me show you. Let me get on Gayaza for you guys. Can you see? He came on my channel 2 times. I met him twice. The first time, he talked to me about the satanic verses. He said this story is a lie. That's the first time I met him. The second time, he came on my channel, I talked to him about the suckling verses, and he said he rejects Islam. He went to his Dawah channel. He said, guys, I have some questions. They said, no, it's not true. He said, listen, I got shown by the stories. I got shown all the stories by this guy, you know, this Christian. He's kuffar. He's a stupid guy. He's lying, right? He's lying, right? What happened? Banned from the Dawah about asking about these stories. I mean, he went there probably and he showed them the video, and they say to themselves, oh, this guy, he's got a few, just a few narrations. And then he gets banned. And what did they say to him? If I doubt, I'm an apostate already. You know, say for example, you have a question in Islam, you know, why did Muhammad, he say consent is for the woman keeping silent? Why? I just want to go to my sheikh and ask, Sheikh, why? You know, Dr. Zakir Naik, why? Dr. Zakir Naik, he just turns around and he says, brother, can you find me one contradiction in the Bible? You know, he starts talking about the Bible. And then they ban you from the mosque. They ban you for asking one question. You start talking about contradictions in the Quran, they turn around, they start talking about the Trinity. What do you mean Trinity? You have a Trinity of your own. Guys, did you know about the Trinity in Islam? They have a Trinity, right? Let me find for you guys all these sources. Look. Recite the Quran, for on the day of resurrection it will come as an intercessor for those who recite it. Recite the two bright ones, Al-Baqarah and Surah Al-Imran, for on the day of resurrection they will come as two clouds or two shades or two flocks of birds, pleading for those who recite them. On the day of resurrection, the eternal speech of Allah will come as an intercession to Allah. What? What is this cult? But yes, guys, I mean, that's a different topic, so... But I guess nobody has questions. I mean, Abla, you said no. And... yeah. But I hope this was good for you guys. I hope you learned some information, and the video will be on the live section of my channel, so anybody who wants to go back and screenshot any of the sources that I used, or if you want to message me, my Discord or the other Discord is in the comments, the description, so you can go there and watch. So thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I will see you guys again. And I hope that this proved that Muhammad, he was